mapapaliwanagkan natin sa buong mundo na ang Pilipino may kakayanan na magpahusay ng kabuhayan Pilipino.
That we call on all patriotic Filipinos to discard ideological differences, party affiliations, disparity of religious beliefs and regional origin, to close our ranks, stand behind one flag, commit our honor, dedicate our lives to fight as best we can in defense of our country.
Ang ating katipunan. Ang ating katipunan. Ang palatuntunang maghahatid sa inyo ng mahahalagang impormasyon tungkol sa mga kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Ang ating katipunan.
Magbibigay liwanag sa mga katanungang nagdudulot ng pagkalito sa mga mamamayan hango sa aral ng pandaigdigang kasaysayan.
Ang ating katipunan.
Makikinig sa inyong mga daing at kuro-kuro sa pagsusuri ng mga kasalukuyang suliranin ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo.
Ang ating katipunan.
Maglalatag ng kalutasan ng mga sanhi ng paghihirap ng kalagayan at kabuhayan ng sambayanan.
Ang ating katipunan.
Ihahatid sa inyo ni Itos Valdes ng Philippine LaRouche Society, Save the Nation Movement, Solidarity for Sovereignty Movement, Renaissance Philippines, at Partido Politikal ng Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino, kasama si Cathy Cruz.
Magandang araw Pilipinas, magandang araw Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao at syempre sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Welcome po sa ating palatutunang ang ating katipunan. At kayo po ay kasalukuyang nanonood po sa pamamagitan mga social media accounts ng Katipunan Channel at syempre ng ating pong YouTube account, no, Partido KDP. Yan ang makikita nyo po. Magkomento lamang po kayo kung may mga nais po kayong sabihin o reaksyon po sa ating pong mga magigiting na panauhin po ngayong araw pong ito, ngayong gabing ito. At syempre, maaari rin po kayong magpadala ng sulatroniko sa Katipunan Channel at gmail.com. At syempre, kami po ay sabayan niyo pong napapakinggan sa pamagitan po ng himpilan po ng Arman DZXL 558 kHz AM band. So, sa lahat po ng ating mga kababayan na nanonood sa pamagitan po ng radyo, please stay tuned at napakaganda po ng ating magiging talakayan ngayong araw na ito. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Cathy Cruz. Siyempre, kasama pa rin natin ang bida ng tunay na bida ng palatuntunang ito. Walang iba kundi si Itos Valdes. Magandang gabi, Itos!
Okay, magandang gabi, Cathy, and to all yung mga nag-aabang sa mga interview natin every Sunday at sa mga magigiting na engineer at radio operators dyan sa RMN, DZXL. Thank you sa ating simulcast. And good evening to all our guests, especially our guest tonight. Cathy, I will give you the honors para we can get into it already.
Yeah. Thank you, Itos. At nako, isang karangalan na panauhin natin siya ngayong gabi. At alam niyo po ba na ang governor po na ito ay hindi lang basta isang doktor, kundi siya po ay matapang na nanindigan para sa kapakanan ng kanyang mga kaprobinsya sa lalawigan po ng Cagayan. Hindi ko na patatagalin dahil gusto kong malaman kung ano na ba ang nangyayari sa kanilang lugar. At ang usapin po natin ngayon ay tungkol dito sa EDCA, etong Enhanced Defense cooperation agreement, no? Kung ano ba ang epekto nito at bakit tinitindigan niya na hindi maganda ito sa kanyang lugar. Hindi ko na patatagalin, walang iba kundi si Dr. Manuel Noveno Mamba Sr. Magandang gabi po sa inyo, Gov.
Magandang gabi, Cathy, ganun din kay Itos at sa lahat po ng nakikinig sa ating programa at nanood. Thank you so much for inviting me to be your guest. And yes, it's always a pleasure to be with you. And again, maraming salamat sa pagkakataon.
Thank you po at sabi ko nga kanina talagang karangalan po ng aming palatutunan dito. Well, siguro maganda pong unahin ko po, Governor Mamba, no, kung bakit po nyo tinututulan at hindi nakikita nyong hindi maganda itong EDCA, yung paglalagay po ng mga base militar diyan po sa inyong lalawigan, Governor Mamba?
Well, noong ako'y naging governor po in 2016, ay talagang ang ko po is kung paano natin palalaguin ang aming naghihirap na probinsya ng Cagayan. At nakita ko po ang ating mga bansa sa north of my province, Northeast Asia, lalo-lalo na of course Japan, Korea, bago-bago na umuusbong at nakita natin ang klase ng ekonomiya nila ay ang China. Nakita ko po at ito po yung nakikita kong kailangan makipag-ugnayan kami sa kanila. Dahil in the late 80s po, yung aming puerto ng Puerto Papari ay nagsara because of tension of the river. So wala na ho kaming ugnayan sa aming mga neighbors up north. And mula noon, since time immemorial, connected po kami sa kanila. In fact, we have a lot of Japanese and even Chinese communities in our province. At nakita ko po na kailangan makipag-ugnayan dahil nakita ko yung China na talagang yumaman ng yumaman. In the last in the 80s, mid-80s hanggang sa panahon na ito. So from 2016, sabi ko, let us look northward. So ito po yung nakikita ko, and that is why nakikipag-usap na rin po ako sa kanila mula noon. At sabi ko, kung pwede naman makita ang poverty alleviation program nila, dahil just now, nawala na ho yung extreme poverty nila. And of the 1.3 billion people, ay 10 million na lang ang below the poverty line. So there's something good about it na kailangan mapag-aralan din kung paano. Lalo-lalo na nung nawala yung aming connection. So yun po ang nag-udyok sa akin na hindi dapat kaaway itong mga kapitbahay or kapitbansa. At kailangan makipag-ugnayan sa kanila, and this is our chance. At nakita ko rin, noong nakita ko na kailangan gawin ito, they were so interested also of the dredging of our Cagayan River. So, free po. Nag-offer sila na there will be free dredging of the river. They will get the dredge material, tatagay nila sa merkado ito. And so, I saw the opportunity to reopen also our port, and have exchanges with them. So, dito po nag-start ito, And then, there was this balikatan exercises from America. Bigla silang dumating dito. I welcome them, because they're our friends. They are our ally, for humanitarian. That was before the pandemic po. And then, noong nawala yung pandemic, again, nagpuan naman po sila, na magkakaroon na naman ng balikatan under the Duterte administration, towards the end of the Duterte administration. Sinabi na naman sila sa atin na magkakaroon ng balikatan. But this time, they want to get my imprimatur dito sa balikatan na to. So tinanong ko naman po kung ano yung mga gagawin nila. And then I found out na there was this live fire exercises. Ano to live fire? Yung pala, magte-testing sila ng mga missiles nila, mga kanyon nila. Sabi ko, ayoko to. Dahil nakikipag-ugnayan ako sa mga neighbors ko. You are all my friends. I don't want any enemy, and I don't want my province to be used for any offensive maneuvers or offensive things against any of our neighbors. And alam niyo po, ako pa ay nanungkulan din as member of the cabinet during the time of President Manuel, at alam ko po yung EDCA rin na ito. So, sabi ko po, alam ko yung Taiwan na yan is a powder keg. It's something that would ignite a global tension. So, ayoko to be part of that. So, this all started with that po. And I was surprised, nalagay na ako sa limelight na bakit ko raw tinututulan. Sa akin po kasi, ayaw ko po ng away. Mahirap po ang probinsya. Ang gusto ko ay makipag-ugnayan sa kahit sino sa buong mundo at makipagkaibigan. Nakikita ko po kasi na kailangan tularan natin yung mga bansa na nakikita natin na umuunlad, umuusbong, at kahit paano yung gutom ng tao ay ina-address nila. So, I feel that we have to learn from our neighbors, learn also from our mistakes. Because I think China learned from their mistakes by closing their borders to the world for so many decades and so many centuries kung tutuusin. Nagutom din sila, naghirap din sila. But when they opened up in 1984, nakita natin. Just like what happened to us. When China opened up, we closed. Wala akong nangyari sa aming ekonomiya. We became poorer and poorer and poorer. Sabi ko, we should open up again. And eto na nga po, I'm so happy, na nakikita unti-unti ito ng mga Cagayano. They are supportive, maybe quietly, pero nakikita ko po, this is the right thing to do. And I know I will be in the right side of history.
Ako, sabi nga tama yung sabi niyo po, friend to all, enemy of none. At maganda po yan na mas, kumbaga talagang ang tutok po ninyo ay ang pag-unlad po ng inyong lugar. Gusto ko lang din hingin ang reaksyon ni Itos at damdamin niya tungkol po sa nagaganap po dyan sa Cagayan sa mga sinabi niyo po ngayon. Itos?
Yes, well, maybe later after we when the governor has to leave, we will extend we will put out more of our thoughts and opinions on that. But suffice to say, we support everything the governor said. Yes, China has offered more help than even the United States at this point. More concrete. Governor, you mentioned, I remember watching you in an interview, you were talking about the cooperation extended by China. Could you go into a little bit more detail on this for the benefit of our viewers?
Well, we have faced two super typhoons since I became governor of the province in 2016. And then in 2018, another super typhoon, and then in 2019 towards 2020, nagkaroon na naman po kami ng mega flood dito sa amin. Ito po yung mga problema namin, typhoons and floods, especially flooding. And nakita po namin, they are the ones sending aid sa amin. And of course, hindi lang po yun, yung dredging na nangyayari. Ngayon ay sila po yung umaangkat ng aming dredge material and we are doing our dredging for free. Ang mahal-mahal ho ng dredging. Hindi ho natin kaya. And now, I grab this opportunity also na total, may gagawa ng libre. Babayaran pa tayo sa ating mga quarry fees. Let's do it para mabuksan natin yung port of Apari natin ulit. Hindi lang yun. It's not just the opening of the port. Pati yung problema natin sa flooding dahil barado na nga yung ating kanal, yung ating Cagayan River and its tributaries. So all of these things, if you add it up, ang laking tulong po sa amin. And of course, looking forward po, paano po yung negosyo? No? So we will be developing our underdeveloped agriculture, underdeveloped aquaculture, of course, our livestock, no? And of course, our tropical weather. No? Kami po ay pinakamalapit sa kanila kung tutuusin nga po. We are more part of Northeast Asia than Southeast Asia because napakalapit namin na kanila. So we are 1 hour, 2 hours away from their major cities. So nakikita ko rin po yung tourism. No? If only meron po kami international airport dito sa Cagayan, alam ko po, pupunta sila dito sa amin during their winter months. No? Malamig na malamig po sila. No? They are 1 hour, 2 hours. So nakikita ko rin po ito na another potential. So all of these things po, no, hindi po sa ano, I'm not an economist, but I know. No? I also have this gift of no, malalaman what will come next. No? And ang laking tulong po sa amin ito. No? Wala po kaming international tourists dito. No? And our port, no, there was never an effort to reopen it from the national government. And dahil mahal nga po, no, and there was never a time na nag-dredge ang Cagayan River since time immemorial. Ngayon at mati-dredge namin, matatanggal namin yung silt, magaganda yung flow ng aming river. Hindi lang yun, ma-open namin yung port. Pag na-open namin yung port, pagkakaroon kami ng ugnayan doon sa mga countries na meron kaming ugnayan doon pa. And of course, dahil yumaman sila, no, they could go all over the world. They are the #1 ngayon na tourist providers of the world, especially China. So, we should have exchanges with them. Unang-una po, we have a young population, educated population, disciplined population, and of course, food. So makikita nyo, instead na magpapalabas tayo ng tao, dito na ang oportunidad, dito na nga ang trabaho, dito na rin po yung kahit paano income. So I hope and pray po, no, na huwag guluhin ito. Let it happen muna para makita natin. So that is why nung sinasabi nilang magkakaroon ng mga EDCA sites dito, because I am part of that. Noong 2014, I was a member already of the cabinet of President Manuel. No, and we decided on that. No, nung nagkaroon ng konting alitan noon, nag-file tayo ng protest. So, kaagad-agad yung China nagsabi, let us have bilateral talks and maybe a joint venture on all of these disputed areas. No, but we opted na multilateral. No, hindi ba bilateral. And we opted to go to UNCLOS. Hindi nag-agree lahat ang China doon. So, from the very start, walang agreement. Kaya kung meron mang bullying na sinasabi nila, natural lang siguro yun. No? Kasi there was no agreement from the start. But look at this, ethos, no? Wala man lang putukan for the last 9 years. Wala man lang dumalak ng dugo. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Ang ibig sabihin para sa akin, ayaw natin ng gera, both of us. Ayaw nila, ayaw din natin. Why shouldn't we talk about it now bilaterally? No? At nandyan na. Why should we add EDCA sites and put it in Pagkakan? So all of these things hindi ko ma-explain sa tao. And I have to make a stand. Ano po, may mga pressure sa akin, pero in deference to our president, no, I think he respected my stand. No? Hindi man lang siya nagpasabi sa akin to stop or what. I saw him thrice already. Never. No, at alam naman natin, from the very start, gusto niya rin yung bilateral talks. Ang tingin ko kasi nung pumunta siya kay President Xi Jinping, nag-meet sila, no, in continuous dialogue on the maritime dispute, that is already a precursor, a start of bilateral talks. No, and of course, yung sinasabi ng agriculture and fishery, kami po ang pagdolo makikinabang. Kami po ang talagang napakalapit sa kanila. No? And then yung sinasabi nila, Silk and Belt Road Initiative, kami na naman ang makikinabang doon because we are closest to them. So, how can I not make a stand on all of these things? Eh ako na po yung panahon pa ni President Duterte, nakikipag-ugnayan na ako sa kanila kung pwede naman. Kaya lang naudlo dahil doon sa COVID niyon. But now is our time. And China became what it is in the last 39 years in the time of Deng Xiaoping. Alam mo, I was so surprised when napunta kami doon. No? Kasi lately, pupunta kami noong May. I was so surprised. No? May bago silang museum. No? It's called the Museum of the Communist Party of China in Beijing. It's a 2-year-old museum. No? Walang, yung para yung po nila, yung history started with Deng Xiaoping in 1984. There was no mention of Mao Zedong, no mention of communism. So sabi ko, this is the new China. This is the China that opened to the world. Ang sinasabi nila, socialism with Chinese characteristics. Wala na yung communism, yung kinatatakutan natin, ayaw natin at lahat, but you know, they may have learned their lesson by isolating themselves. No, they change stock, they change what. Look at them now. Yumaman sila ng yumaman. They are now the second biggest economy in the world. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I was there in 2008 in Beijing. Punta ka ngayon sa Beijing, di mo na makikilala. Green na green. So, nakakaingit, no? And makita mo yung disiplina ng tao, malinis, lahat. Nawala na yung mga may mga anxiety doon, may areas. Now, it's so different. Bakit hindi? Why should not we learn from them? Diba? Wala na ideology to, wala na. It's what we could do for our people. I talk with their leaders. Ang palagi nila sinasabi, na mo, Governor, gusto ka namin dahil you serve your people. Ganon din ang gusto namin. What we could do for our people, what we could do for our people. And I think that is where our leadership is. It is not just us anymore, it is for our people. Tayo, malakas tayo. Kaya natin yung sarili natin. Pero paano yung simple man in the street? So I think this is what I saw in China. And I think it's worth emulating, it's worth imitating, it's worth seeing, it's worth learning from. So, ako, no, I just sent my son again, no, meron sila po sa mga youth. Sabi ko sa anak ko, punta kayo, learn from them. Because it made them who they are in the last 40 years. I think there's nothing wrong, no? Kung matuto naman tayo sa kanila. They learn from their mistakes. We should also learn from our mistakes. That's why mahirap pa rin tayo sa mission.
Right. Again, Gov, it's so refreshing to hear something like this from a leader, no? From any leader in any position right now. The outlook and the openness and the truth about because I share your thoughts about Beijing. I had been there, I had gone there twice. In the difference of maybe 15 years apart. And you see it, you really see it, and you see in the eyes of the people, which is different. The confidence, the joy that they have and the pride that they have in their country. And it's not the Beijing na kinakatakutan, di ba? Kinakatakutan dati, di ba? Na police state daw and all of that. Iba talaga. The last time I was there was with my father. He gave a talk. He had since passed, and we were both. I agree, and I wish my father would have met you and talked to you about this, because I'm sure you both would have enjoyed. But I wanted to also ask you this time about your province. You've been very critical about the export processing areas, right? CESA. Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Well, CESA has been there since 1995, no? So, 29 years na yan. It's still dependent on the GAA, no? And mababaw. It's only 8 meters deep. O, gusto nilang i-dredge daw. Paano mo i-dredge yun? Kung yun corals. And then it's an open sea. Since time immemorial, no? In the SecGen map, no? Say it's a map about hundreds of years, no, ago. No, there was this mention of Tuakam, referring to a big port. At tinitignan nila in history, it's Apari. And itong Apari port na to, dito rin pumasok lahat ang Chinese dito sa amin, including most of the Taipans now in Manila. Dito sila galing sa amin. No, so makikita mo, and every major city dito, there are Chinese communities. In fact, in my town, it's almost 100 kilometers away from Apari. Meron kaming dinatnan ko pa noon, nung bata ako, teaching school, elementary school. So makita niyo po, no, that we've been connected to them since time immemorial because of the port of Apari. Kaya lang, pinabayaan natin, included ang forest natin, silted na. Ngayon, gumagawa sila ng puerto that it did not work for the last 30 years. At makita mo naman, dyan ang illegal activities. No? Napakarami illegal activities dyan. From money laundering, trafficking, selling of visa, lahat. And up to now, binibigyan ng hundreds of millions and even billions from the GAA. So, sabi ko, bakit natin pinipilit yan? Wala namang nangyayari. Because that provided jobs, real jobs for our people. There was no agri-industrialization there. Wala. Ang pinakamalaki daw doon na pumasok na barko is about 9,700 tonnage. Yung sabi nila. It's 8 meters deep. So sabi ko, bakit natin ginagastusan yan? Nag-file pa ako ng complaint noon dahil meron sila nilagay na 5.1 billion na breakwater doon, 1 kilometer long. So anong ibig sabihin nun? 5 million per meter na breakwater. Wala na. Lumubog at lahat. No? And naka-file yung kaso, wala namang nangyari. I do not know why. No? Ang sa akin is, instead of pursuing that, let us go back to what worked before, the port of Apari. Ngayon, at libre yung dredging dahil kailangan nila yung silt, kailangan nila yung construction materials, construction sand. Kailangan nila, ibebenta pa natin. But why shouldn't we take advantage of that? No? So sa akin, no, mula noon, I was against CESA. No, dahil sana imbestigahan nila. Maraming mga media outlets na nag-imbestiga doon. And I do not know, no? Bakit?
Medyo, but it's I wanted to ask, how do you then, it seems to be that there are elements even within because in CESA, marami rin pogo po, di ba?
Yeah.
Maraming pogo, maraming
Diyan naman pinanganak yung pogo.
Oo nga. So, but that's not obviously a benefit to us, right? As a country. Definitely, your outlook on industrialization and economic development through infrastructure, that's what we should concentrate on. But how then would you manage the elements that you want sa country? I'm interested in knowing what China's policy is. Is it this? Hindi naman siguro pogo yung policy nila, di ba? They want economic development para sa economic cooperation because they will also benefit from it. Pero how do you filter, or how do you can we choose actually, or does China say this aid is one all-encompassing, ipasok nyo rin yung pogo or hindi?
Well, sa akin, if it's money, legal money coming out, no, it's corruption. That's where we can see how China manages their corruption. In any country, may corruption naman. Now, kung ayaw nila yun, ibig sabihin, it's disadvantageous to them. They do not want corruption in their government. No? Meron at meron lang yan kahit saan ka mapunta. But, the Communist Party do their own cleansing also among their ranks. Nakita natin dahil meron pinakulitin. So I think this is not sanctioned by them. This is not permitted by them too. No, but meron at meron lang yan. No, especially for a country where most, if not all, the banks are state-owned. So the only way to bring out the dirty money is through money laundering. And I think China do not like that. No? So sa akin, it's more of ayaw nila. But China is not self-sufficient in food. Alam natin yan. China is not self-sufficient on raw materials. No. China doesn't even have fuel to oil to make their factory. So all of this thing is important. Saan sila nag-i-import? Ang lalayo. No? So, and yet we are so near probinsya namin. Bakit naman wala kaming maimbenta kahit isang kilong karne lang? No? So, why shouldn't we go to that? No? We have an underdeveloped agriculture, underdeveloped aquaculture, underdeveloped diba? Kung willing sila na i-develop ito, willing sila na gawin ito, some of the things. So, our port of Apari is a mirror port to practically all ports of China, including that of Taiwan. No? So, kung titignan mo, lahat ng gusto pumasok sa China, they could use our port. Definitely, you could not go to China through Japan. Ako naman, may kwan yan. Or even Taiwan at this point in time. No? Or even Korea or South Korea at this point in time. So, ang ganda ng very strategic yung port of Apari namin. No? And so, sa akin, shouldn't we go to that? Diba? No? Nagtaka nga ako, dahil pumunta sa akin. O kaya lang, I hope the national government sees this. Kasi sa tingin ko, we could be a gateway of the Philippines to China, or a gateway of China to the Philippines and even Southeast Asia. Napunta ako doon, makikita mo ang mga pandon itos, ang mga kanilang mga tourists. Alam mo, mga Espanyol, so Latin America, and then mga Africans, and Eastern Europeans. Yun ang nakita ko, nakasabay namin ng mga Now, I was invited to be a keynote speaker in the ASEAN-China Forum on Sustainable Development. So, I talked doon about Asia for Asians. Alam mo, nakikita ko, halos pag-expand na sila sa Africa. Nandun na rin sila sa Latin America. Of course, yung mga Eastern European countries, nandyan na sila talaga, including that of Russia, di ba? Now, they are going down to the ASEAN. Yun ang nakikita ko. That's why the ASEAN were all there. Now, who would not want to have a connection with China at this point in time? No? Yung province ko pinakamalapit, ito napakatanga ko naman if I will not grab this opportunity. This is not for me. This is for my children. This is for the next generation. I'm 65-year-old because ikaw, buhay ka pa. Okay na to. Ako, baka wala na ako. But ang akin naman, please, let's give it a chance. Diba? And I know, even the president himself, pakita niya na ito. Pakita niya ito. Ewan ko kung meron pa, what made the president he knows better than I do sa national politics. But sa akin, we could not, especially my province, we could not be better off without our neighbors sa Norte, especially China. self-sufficient sa food ang Korea, including Japan. But China needs us and we need them. No? And that is why I feel our time has come to reconnect with time in China.
Again, we agree. I agree wholeheartedly with your outlook, sir. And I respect you for taking a stand, the very quote-unquote unpopular stand with at least yung ating mga kaibigan dyan sa media at yung mga iba dyan na alam mo na. Pero sir, another question, sir. In your dealings with China, or I would say Chinese businessmen, have you ever felt na they were because ang story ang pinapalabas minsan is that they are taking advantage of the Philippines and other countries with loans that those countries cannot pay off or those cities cannot pay off, and parang nanggugulang ba? Of course, yun yung mga storya na lumalabas sa ating mga kaibigan sa media, no? Pero I wanted to ask you personally because we don't believe that because we're able to dig through or sift through yung mga alternative media, no? Pero in your personal dealings with them, sir, did it ever give you an inkling or may nararamdaman ka bang parang ginugulang lang tayo?
Well, sa akin, no? Yung sinasabi nila ng debt trap. Kasi depende sa iyo na kung paano mo gagamitin yung utangin mo. Kung lolo-lokohin mo lang at hindi mo gagamitin sa dapat paggamitan, wala talaga mangyayari. Lalo na kung politiko ka, hindi na ikaw magbabayad. Yung next na politiko o next na governor. No? So, depende dun sa borrower yan. Hindi dun sa lender. Diba? Yung, kung papayagan niya, lolokohin siya at pagkakapirahan niya, inuutang niya, talagang walang mangyayari dyan. No? That is why, sa akin, why should I do that? No? Sa akin lang. No? So, sabi ko, yung debt trap na sinasabi nila yan, depende sa papautang. No? Depende sa umuutang kung saan niya gagawin. No? Nakikita naman natin yung hirap natin so that we learn from it also. Ngayon at may tumutulong. Pangalawa pa, ang China now, no, lahat ng suot natin made in China. Kahit anong brand, made in China, Adidas, Nike, kahit na brand, made in China, Sony, Samsung, made in China. Ibig sabihin, no, lolokohin ka ng mga taong ito ng China para ikaw ay maghirap. Kanino niya ibebenta ang kanyang mga manufacturing goods pag naghirap ka? So para sa akin, matatandahin niya yung ekonomiya mo, yung buhay mo, dahil siya nagsusupply lahat ng kailangan mo. Kailangan mo sa bahay mo, kailangan mo sa kusina mo, kailangan mo sa katawan mo, kailangan mo sa farm mo. No? He has everything. No? Because the whole world made him their manufacturing center. And that is why, para sa akin, pagandahin niya yung buhay mo para meron siyang mapagbentahan. Hindi ka niya gigiyarahin. Hindi ka niya, ewan ko, no? Hindi ka niya lolokohin. No? Especially na napakarami nila. No? And they need to, of course, no, feed their people. They need to improve the lives of their people. No? With 1.3 billion, I think, hindi hihinto yan. No? So sa akin, no, of course, it depends sa umuutang. And I trust them more. Kesa yung bansa na ibibenta lang sa'yo baril, kanyon, panggera, sa akin lang. No? Furthermore, is your neighbor. No? Being neighbors, I think, no, you would want your neighbor to be like you. No? Nakita natin yung nangyari sa Europe. No? Nagkakagulo sa Middle East at puntahan lahat sila doon. Dahil nandun ang opportunity. Nakikita natin yung nangyari sa Mexico and the US. No? So, nagko-cross lahat ng border to the point na sinasamahan lahat nila doon. No? I think China wouldn't want that. Diba? Kahit na, so, no, depende na sa ka-deal nila ng Duterte. Kung lolo-lolo, kung corrupt talaga, wala kang magagawa kung pupuntahan ng pera. Pero kung, diba, pero sabi ko nga, ikaw yung nagsusupply, ikaw yung lahat, hindi mo gagawin yan sa customer mo. Para sa
Very well said. Very well said, sir. Tama, it doesn't make it's not in their history na gagawin nila yon. Hindi po sila, in their history, na alam natin na hindi nag-i-invade yung China ng ibang bansa eh. Sila yung ini-invade eh. Sila yung ginigera eh. And so far they've been if we go back to the history of China, it's such a rich history of cooperation and development with the whole world. Diba? So I admire your simple common sense but very profound outlook about China, and I support that wholeheartedly also. I'm going to ask you a question, sir. It's up to you, Gob, if you want to answer it, because you're in government. But what should be then? What do you think should be our national policy towards China in terms of these types of thing? China has these tensions with the United States. And the United States government, for now, the admin seems hell-bent on creating conflicts around the world, no? Pero if you were our leader, how would you approach China in this point?
Well, it was well said, and I fully support what the president said. From the very start, when he made his inaugural address, we are a friend to everyone and enemy to no one. That divides everything kung tutusin. So, let's give the president a chance. No? I mean, kung titignan mo kasi, there are things happening hindi natin alam. And that is why sometimes our leader decide that way. No, pero, diba? And maybe the explanation will come later. So sa akin, it's so hard to sabihin natin mali naman siya. No? Dahil he may know something we do not know. He may have analyzed something na hindi natin nakikita. And that's why he acted that way. But, only fools don't change their mind. Kaya, nakita naman natin yan. Because everyone has to survive. Everyone has to survive. That is why, bago-bago siya. Tignan natin. Sa akin, natin guluhin. Especially for, I can see stability kasi with President Bongbong and Vice President Sara. I can see 12 years of stability. No, only if we work together. I think we will be stable for the next 12 years. That is what we need.
Right.
Of course, we need to have national discipline and national direction, which we all agree on.
Agree. Yeah. I think the national direction should be stated. Parang ginawa ng China, di ba? Sinama nila lahat ng population nila. This is where we want to go. Sama kayo sa amin, di ba? Tama naman eh. Gov, maybe last question before I ask Cathy kung may question siya. No? Pero can the province of Cagayan refuse the EDCA base? Is it legal? Is it within the province's power to say no?
No, sa akin, I don't want to question it. I'd rather manage it. No, it's there. No, that is why sabi ko, sometimes I refuse talking about it kasi nandun na. Kaya lang ayoko kasi pinopolarize nila yung tao eh. Na nagpapapirma sila ng ganito, they are pitting my vice governor against me, the board members against me, the mayors against me. Sabi ko, sino ba may gusto ng giyera? Gusto niyo ba ng giyera? So ayaw natin lahat ng giyera. Hindi pala eh, we all agree na ayaw natin ng giyera. So anything that promotes war, we should go against it. No, now, kung di nyo pa nakikita yun, because they look at EDSA as a defense. I look as EDSA as a magnet for possible attack. So, give it to them. Yun yung nakikita nila. Pero let us have a common denominator. We are all against war. No? So, kung yan ang magiging one, let us not support anything that promotes war na madadala din sa atin. Dahil yun naman ang ayaw natin lahat. Sabi. So, sa akin, this is manageable. This is manageable. We were able to manage this agreement for 9 years, no, with China. We did not agree. And wala putukan, wala ko, dahil ayaw natin lahat ng giyera. No? And I think, mangyayari din yan. No one could impose war sa atin, ayaw natin. No? Para sa akin, you know, makikita natin as we go along. When these foreign forces, no, how will people look at it? How will people get them in? How will people are the Cagayanos supportive sa ito? No? Akala nila. Kasi habang nandyan at tumalapit, maniwala ka. No? Alam mo, my father is a guerrilla. No? He fought with the Americans. No, alam mo, palagi kasi sinasabi namin yung response. Sana you will never experience war. Never. Yan ang pinagdadasal ko sa Diyos. Never na ma-experience no. And he tells the stories about what they have gone through, the family, himself, including the death of some of his brothers. No. Yun ang palagi niyang sinasabi. And that was inculcated in me. That is still in my consciousness. That is why every now and then sinasabi ko sa mga tao na sana never tayo ma-involve sa anumang klaseng kaya. Nakita natin yung kaya even in Mindanao alone. Pakita natin. Our fight with the NPAs. Grabe dito. There was hamletting noon. There was salvaging and everything. We have seen it. Kaya it will be worse than that. So sa akin, ang importante is magkaisa ho tayo laban sa gera. We should all be anti-war. Anything that promotes war, anything that creates war, labanan po. And I think we are unison dyan.
Okay, Gov, final question before we let you go. I know you're very busy, no? What is the next steps to this? What is the status now with the EDCA? Are they pushing through with it in Cagayan at least, or what?
Wala akong nakita eh. Wala pa akong nakikita. As far as the inferences sabi nila, even their presence, nagkaroon kami ng threat ng super typhoon. I never saw any American. Binanat-balatan ko pa nga sila sa era. Akala ko ba, tutulong kayo, but wala kayo. Wala naman. So I do not know, no? Pero sa amin, we will engage with China. We will engage with all our neighbors. You know, I've been to Jeju. Nakalagay din doon. Nakalagay din doon. No to US military. South Korea. I saw it also in Japan. No to US military. The Okinawans came here sa amin. Parehas tayo na pinaglalaban. Ayaw natin ng US military. Sabi rin din sa atin. So, I think, quietly, dami. Because nobody wants war. And nobody, I think, nobody wants any foreign military in their homes, no? in their respective countries. And hindi na uso ito eh. Uso. We should all rally behind that notion. Now, we could buy ourselves, we could protect ourselves. No? We could die for our country. We cannot die for other countries. So,
Right.
sa ito, gagawin dapat natin.
Agree po. Agree po. It's simple. It reminds me of yung kay Shakespeare po, to be or not to be. That is the question. We choose development and economic development and peace, or we choose war. That is what the choice is facing us now. Sir, I will say my goodbyes to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope this is not the last time. We support your stand, as always. We agree with everything you said here tonight. And please, we hope that there are more leaders like you in government who only want the best for their constituents and for the Filipinos. Thank you very much, sir. We'll let you go, Kat.
Okay. Thank you, Itos. And of course, Governor Mamba, no? Sabi nga sa gera, talagang walang panalo. Lahat talaga talo. Kaya talagang ako ay marubdob ang aking suporta sa inyo. At hinahangaan ko kayo bilang leader ng Cagayan, nalalawigan ng Cagayan. Dahil bihira po kasi ang isang opisyal ng ating pamahalaan na maninindigan po para proteksyonan ang kanyang mamamayan, ang kanyang mga kababayan. At hindi po biro, alam ko po hindi biro eh. Actually gusto ko nga po panghuling tanong siguro. Kasi I'm sure na meron pong mga threats or panggigipit perhaps na nangyayari po. Gusto ko lang malaman, Governor Mamba, kung paano nyo hinaharap. Di ba kayo na, I'm sure matapang kayo, pero syempre tao lang kayo eh, medyo ma-demoralize ka. Bakit ba itong mga leader na to, kung sila yung nandun sa taas, sila pa yung ganito? What can you say, Governor Mamba?
Masagkada ako, Cathy. Kahit lang papayag din ako. Hindi sa akin. We've suffered so much in our province. We don't, ayaw namin, ito naman ibibigay naman sa mga anak namin. Matanda na tayo. Ako, 65, 17, no? Hindi naman pwedeng ganito ng ganito lang. I am not, the status ko sa akin is unacceptable. All our neighbors now become what they are. No? They used to be the second richest country in Asia in the 60s. Where are we now? Ganito na lang ang ganito. Hanapin naman natin kung saan tayo nagka-counting. And learn also from the successes of other nations. And let us not be satisfied with the status quo that we are in. Dahil itong ganito na, sabi nga nila, if it's broken, fix it. And if something is broken, definitely, it has not worked for us. Kung hindi naman tayo maninindigan sa pagkakito, I think, kawawa anak natin. Sa akin, I feel it's the right thing to do. I know it's the right thing to do. And I'll stand by it. So, kung anong consequences nito, I'll accept it. Bakit hindi? But I'll fight for it. Kahit anong ko nila, marami tayong pressure at lahat. Tagal ko sa politika, 2 kapatid ko na yung pinatay nila sa eleksyon. Parte ng buhay ito. Kaya tayo maninindigan, hindi eksakto para sa atin. Para naman sa akin, ito lamang. Para I have to say my piece. And I know dadami tayo. Alam nila ang tama nila.
Maraming salamat, Governor Mamba, at ramdam namin po ang hinaharap po ninyo ngayon na mga suliranin sa inyong lugar at pressure. At ako talagang dasal ko po, patnubayan kayo ng Panginoon sa lahat po ng inyong laban at ang Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino tulad ng binanggit ng aming Pangulo na si Itos Valdes ay sumusuporta po sa inyo. Nasa likod niyo po kami at nakaalalay, nawa ay tularan kayo ng ibang mga leader po sa ating bansa. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat din. And God bless po sa inyo. At mabuhay po.
Thank you po. Kung may pagkakataon po na may nais po kayo ibahagi sa aming palatuntunan, bukas po ang palatuntunan ito para sa inyo, Governor Mamba.
Salamat
Maraming
po.
po salamat. Okay mga kababayan, napanood po ninyo at napakinggan sa himpilan pa rin ng Arman DZXL 558 si Governor Manuel P. Mamba. At talaga naman, ramdam natin kung paano niya tinitindigan para proteksyonan hindi lang ang kanyang mga kababayan doon sa Cagayan, kundi ang buong bansa na rin. Sabi nga niya talagang mahirap ang magkaroon ng gera. Magsimula ito dahil sa mga EDCA sites katulad nung binabanggit nga niya kanina. But anyway, kayo po ay nanonood pa rin sa himpilan pa rin ng Arman DZXL o Katipunan Channel sa mga social media accounts. At 3 minuto bago mag-alas 8 po ng gabi at Philippine Standard Time. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Cathy Cruz, kasama pa rin si Itos Valdes at kanina nga nakapanayam natin si Governor Mamba. Nako, sa ikalawang bahagi po ng ating palatuntunan ay nais ko lang talakayan kasi alam mo Itos, isa sa medyo nababagabag ako ngayon dahil sa kampanya ng mga kabaro natin, mga katulad nating mga mamahayag sa pagsusulong ng legalization ng marijuana. Ako'y medyo ako dito natatakot ako para bang parang pag nagsimula ito, pinayagan nilang ma-legalize, lahat posible malilegalize. Can you give us information? Paano ba nagsimula itong mga illegal drugs na to? Meron ba itong pinagmulan dito ba lang sa bansa natin o galing sa ibang bansa ito?
Well, hindi naman history ng illegal drugs, no? Pero there are, in the course of human history kasi, as we develop and discover more science and chemistry, may mga may mga elements, chemicals, natural or manufactured, no, processed na nakakasama sa tao. And it does not contribute to health. It does not contribute to development. It does not enhance thinking or intellectual brain capacity. And in fact, confuses and makes human beings act like animals. Most of it. So, I wanted to may push ngayon, matagal na tong push sa Kongreso and other parties na gustong i-push na medical marijuana. Okay? This is, they say, kasi with the new science daw, at yung mga nagbubukas ng mga, what do you call them, dispensaries ng marijuana sa US, na ito daw is not bad for human consumption. In fact, enhances it and helps in the management of pain and other things, no? Yung one of the principal pushers of this, nga, no? Kasi is the group behind George Soros. Matagal na po natin alam yan. He is pushing for what we call an open society. Kaya nga open society ang gusto niya. Walang borders, walang regulations on all sorts. Defense, health, yan ang ideal ng open society. At through his various and extensive network of NGOs, pinupush po nila to. to make it legal in all countries. Okay, yan po ang nasa likod niyan in this modern day and age. But maganda kasi ang usapan natin about China because it reminded me, sabi mo nga, Kath, about the push to Congress ngayon to legalize this. It reminded me of the opium wars of China during the 17th century. Na yung British na nagtutulak nitong opium, yun din po ang gamit nilang rason. Na it is medicinal and it also benefits sick patients to deal with their pain. Kasi nakakalimutan nila yung sakit ng katawan nila. Kung mamamatay na rin, paggamit mo na lang sila ng opium. Okay? So they were pushing this opium. They would alam mo yung British East India Company po. Yun yung pinakamalaking kumpanya sa buong mundo during the 18th century. Okay, they were the kumbaga sa ano yung pinakamalaking kumpanya sa mundo, siguro sabihin na natin Blackstone or BlackRock, right? Who owns all of the banks and media corporations now. Yun na yung comparison. Pero wala pa rin kasi ito monopoly talaga ng British East India Company. Now, the British East India Company is a private company pero ginagamit pero may para siyang tinatawag na charter from the royal family of England. Okay? Kasi siya yung may pera, so para silang dinedeputize ng King of England at that time to go to war in behalf of the nation, and then they remit whatever they get, part of it to the British government. Okay, para silang mercenaries. So, itong British East India Company, kasi may colonies yung empire, di ba? Gumagawa sila ng opium sa India, tapos, binebenta sa buong mundo. Part of it is binebenta sa China. Okay? Ngayon, may isang gobernador dyan sa China of that province na ayaw yung opium kasi nakakasama naman talaga sa population. Kasi when you smoke opium, ayaw mo na maging productive. Gusto mo na lang relax. Tapos hindi mo na naiisip. They're in a catatonic state. Yung mga population nila, yung mga tao nila, ayaw magtrabaho, ayaw kumain. High na kasi sila eh. So yun yung opium. Now, itong British East India Company, kumikita kasi siya. Kasi may mga drug dealer dyan sa China rin na binibentahan nila ng drugs. So lumalaki at lumalawak yung at the time, yung opium use sa China at the time. Pero sabi ng provincial government at the time of China, sabi nila parang ayaw namin yan. At tinapon nila yung isang shipment on the sea. Sabi nila, wag na, hindi na kayo pwede pumasok dito. So ito namang British, sabi nila, bawal yan kasi dapat free trade. Bawal yan against the law of the sea. You should allow us to engage in commerce. Yan ang ginagawa nilang rason. Kaya parang modern nga eh. The same reasoning that they use for all of these UNCLOS and all of these other laws na sinasabi nilang laws, yun ang ginagamit nila. Yun ang ginamit ng British East India Company para magbenta ng droga sa China. Huwag mo kaming pipigilan. Free trade yan. Bawal yan. Hindi nakinig yung governor ng China at that time. Ito sa governor of a province of China, hindi yung emperor ng China ang ayaw. Ito's the province. Kasi sabi niya, yung mga tao ko, puro na lang nagiging drugista, ayaw na magtrabaho. So gusto lang tumaas yung crime rate nila, may nakawan, may patayan dahil sa droga. Okay? So ayaw ng provincial government. So sinabi niya, ayoko. Di sinabi ng British East India Company, di gagirahin ko yung China. So there were two opium wars. Ang resulta po niyan, natalo yung China kasi yung armas ng Inglaterra, Britain was so strong and they ruled the sea. So yung mga ships nila napakalaki at talagang geared for war. So walang laban tong mga yung navy ng China. I think one day napalubog na nila lahat ng barko ng China at the time. So surrender tong China, nag-negotiate. Sige na, hindi na namin papayagan na namin kayong magbenta ng droga kasi wala kami laban sa inyo eh. Pero ang concession o sinabi ng British East India at yung Britain, sabi nila, hindi lang yun. Dahil ginera nyo kami, amin na yung teritoryo of Hong Kong and Macau. Amin na yan. And lahat ng ports nyo, including Shanghai, sa taas, and all of that, amin na yan. Free port yan, free port. So payagan mo kami magbenta dyan. Yan ang tinatawag na free port. Hindi umiiral ang batas ng China dyan sa mga free ports. Yung batas namin ang iiral dyan. Yan po ang history ng Hong Kong. At ang unang bangkong tinayo dyan sa Hong Kong, para kasi nagnenegosyo sila and yung pinakamabenta, yung droga. Yung unang bangkong tinayo nila, ang tinatawag ay Hong Kong Shanghai Bank. HSBC, as we know now. And if you go through recent history po sa dyaryo, parang tinutuloy pa rin ng HSBC yung business na yan. Kasi nahuli na sila ilang beses na yung mga pera ng mafia at yung mga drug lord pupunta dyan sa HSBC hanggang ngayon. So recently they were fined, I think, billions of dollars because they were found to be accepting money from known drug lords recently. So, pero yun ang that's why Hong Kong Shanghai Bank was established. Kasi yun ang pambenta ng droga. So this whole push stems from that they want to they know that these drugs, yung sinasabi ng droga na it will destroy your nation. That's why they will push that. Maalala po natin yung sa 1960s, 'di ba, yung flower power, yung sinasabi nilang anong concert 'yon? Woodstock. Woodstock was organized fully by the CIA. Woodstock was put up, sabi nila, music festival. Tapos may gera sa Vietnam at that time. Magtayo tayo ng music festival, itong mga asset natin ng mga rock and roll na tayo naman nag-discover. Lagay natin diyan sa malaking lugar na walang tao, walang banyo, walang medical, walang tayo tayo ng ganyan. Tapos, maglagay tayo ng tinatawag na LSD. Yung LSD, yung drug, is hallucinatory drug. Haluan natin sa Coca-Cola, at i-distribute natin. Yung gagamitin natin, yung biker gang na Hells Angels. Ginamit nila yon para mag-eksperimento sa tao. Kung anong epekto ng pakinig sa music at high ka sa droga. Makokontrol mo ba yung mga tao? Yun ang ginawa nila sa Woodstock. They want to see how a human being reacts to drugs. And if you pumunta kayo sa YouTube, tignan nyo, LSD experiments on soldiers. Makikita nyo sa British soldiers, makikita nyo, black and white yung film, pero makikita nyo, nag-eksperimento sila. Just to see the effects on yung sa tao. Pero gobyerno or CIA or deep state or government ang nag-experiment sa tao. They are pushing that to see if they can manipulate human beings. Kasi ang ayaw nila, yung mga taong nag-iisip, nagtatanong, nagbabasa, using his creative reason. They want zombies. They want to create zombies. They want to create zombies they can manipulate. Yan po ang gusto nila. And tinasabi natin, long game yan. Ibig sabihin, willing sila maghintay how many years. Habang yung population nyo, yung generation nyo, patay na sa droga. Kasi puro nagmamariwana.
Yes.
Tapos puro nanonood ng TikTok, nanonood ng sports lang, tsaka entertainment. Di na nag-iisip about the country. Di na nag-iisip para sa taong bayan. Di na nag-iisip para sa kinabukasan. Sirang-sira na ang bansa mo. So kahit gusto mong magtayo ng nuclear power plant or gusto mong magtayo ng or to create a blueprint, a 25-year blueprint, sira na yung taong bayan dahil sa droga.
Yes.
Yun ang gusto nila. Okay? So, yan ang pasok dito. And China, that famous opium wars was very famous because that's what gave birth to Hong Kong. Tapos binalik, pero yung agreement, 100 years yata yun eh. Kaya binalik sa China yung Hong Kong eh. I think in 1997. Or maybe it was 200 years, I'm not sure. But yun yung agreement. Kaya tinurn over nila, binalik nila sa China. Kasi China naman talaga yan. Inuha lang nila dahil sa gera, dahil gusto nilang magtulak ng droga. And ngayon, ginagawa nila through our legislators.
Yes.
Kunwari, pang-medical lang daw. Yun naman sinabi nila about opium dati.
The same
Diba?
style.
Oh, it's the same kind of arguments. Di naman nagbabago eh.
Correct.
Nagbabago lang yung mga tao, pero yung behind it, the same thinking ni George Soros at lahat, sila nagtutulak. And drugs is a big business. Malaking business yan. Bilyones at bilyones at bilyones yan. Every month, every year, pinakamalaking business yan sa buong mundo. So tutulak nila yan. Just before I think Johnny wants to comment, but before we get him, remember po yung Iraq War, yung Operation Desert Storm, yung US, yung gumawa silang rason para mag-invade sa Iraq. Tapos after that, nasa Middle East na sila. After 9/11, yung Twin Towers, yung sumabog yung mga tore nila sa New York. So they created that. It was an inside job. Pero they created that, a false flag, so that they went to the Middle East. Hindi na sila umalis doon. In Afghanistan po, when they took over Afghanistan, when the British and American military took over Afghanistan, dahil sa war on terror, hinahanap nila si Osama bin Laden daw. Afghanistan became the biggest producer of heroin in the world under the US and British governments, military. So sila pa yung nagprotekta sa droga. Maraming instances, maraming movies na, kung mahilig kayo mag-movie, na even in the 80s, yung Colombian drug lords, yung CIA ang nagpapatakbo niyan. Kasi pera yan eh. Pera na hindi mo makikita. Pera na hindi legitimate. Money laundering. Kaya nga sabi ni Governor Mamba, critical siya sa mga export processing zones natin.
Yes.
Kasi hindi mo na namamataan yan eh. That's a haven for money laundering, drugs, and other things. It does not benefit the Filipino people. So the more export processing zones we have, the more transshipment points we have.
Yes.
That means there's more drugs in and out of the country. Kasi free zone PESA. Duty free. Kaya nga sabi niya, critical siya kay Enrile. Because si Enrile ang nagpalagay dyan, Cagayan export processing zone. Pero look at ilan ba yung export processing zones natin sa bansa ngayon. Yung Subic, katakot-takot na smuggling ang nangyayari dyan. Sigurado ako may drugs dyan. Sigurado tayo dyan. Ginawa nilang Freeport. In Freeport, you don't pay taxes. Pwede kang labas-pasok. And Subic is a deep water port. So may submarines dyan. Submarines can enter there and stay there. That's what it is. Yun lang, Cathy, yung reaction ko.
So, sa mga katwid, delikado pala itong
Oo.
estilo nila na
Oo.
pagsusulong talaga ng legalization ng marijuana.
Alam mo, there are other medicines you can use
Yes.
that will have the same effect.
Oo.
Problema, gusto nila marijuana.
Correct. At saka nagtataka nga ako, Tos, kasi alam ko na meron namang batas na pinapayagan na ng PIDEA kasi kinakailangan kumuha sila ng permit sa PIDEA kung para saan nila gagamitin yon. Kung halimbawang talagang para sa sakit, 'di ba? Meron talagang ang tawag doon ay parang special special purpose, special permit. So, sabi ko, bakit kinakailangan nyo pa na illegalize yan? Isa batas mo, meron namang ganun na So, bakit
Tapos correct. Tapos may mga matatalinong congressman at senador sinasabi, hindi natin pwede labanan yung droga, illegalize na lang natin, i-regulate para kumita rin yung gobyerno.
Yun na nga, yun mismo, at yun din yung sinabi ng mismong may-ari ng isang pharmaceutical company dito sa
Correct.
atin. So,
Of course.
hindi ko ma-imagine na, ano ba to? Naturingan siyang inventor, doktor, tapos ganito siya mag-isip, di ba? Parang nakakatakot. Tapos, ang masama, yung ating mga kapwa, para bang pinagtatanggol pa sila, hindi, Cathy, para yan, pantulong yan dun sa mga may sakit natin, Sabi ko, hindi ko talaga maintindihan yung mga rason ninyo.
Hindi, yung rason nila is marijuana. Why marijuana? What is the desired effect that you want from taking marijuana? Diba?
Correct.
Sabi nila painkiller. Bakit painkiller? Kasi dinadal niya yung mga nerves or senses.
Tsaka pinapatulog ka ng pinapatulog.
Hindi. Tsaka dull yung katawan mo.
Oo.
Di mo na iniisip. Yung brain mo, hindi na mag-register ng sakit yan.
Yes.
So binibigay nila. Tapos, it's pleasurable.
Oo.
So sabi nila, for na lang, medical, ikaw gawin mo na lang. Pleasure sa lahat ng sakit ng katawan mo. Yan ang gamitin mo. Pero may mga ibang droga rin that are more powerful sedatives and pain relievers. But it's not marijuana. Pero pinapasok nila at pinapasok yan.
Correct.
And sa US ngayon, delikado. Kaya sirang-sira yung bansang US ngayon .
Oo.
Sa dami ng marijuana dispensaries, kunyari, sigurado ba tayo na lahat legal yan?
Correct.
Diba? Mas mahirap nang i-trace yan, di ba? Sa legal at illegal kasi nandyan na. Kung ginawa nila dito yan, medical dispensaries, paano mo siguraduhin na yung certificate or yung reseta ng doktor or what others are not fake?
Yes. Correct.
That will lead to so many things. It opens up a Pandora's box.
Correct.
Tapos, nilalason mo yung kababayan mo. Nilalason mo yung bansa. You will produce a nation of potheads. Diba? You will produce a nation of potheads, not statesmen, not thinkers. They will not think positive about life. They will just be zombies.
Correct.
Diba?
Yeah, you're right.
Yun lang.
And anyway, I just want to recognize mga kasama natin sa Zoom. Siyempre, nandyan si Johnny Ventosa at Carlo Iway. But bigyan natin ng pagkakataon si Johnny Ventosa para magbigay ng katanungan. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Johnny. Okay, paki-unmute na lang. Habang inaantay natin si Johnny. Yan. Sige, go ahead, Johnny.
Good evening. Itos, I understand what you're talking about. And in fact, I think the U.S. lost the war in Vietnam precisely because the soldiers were all drugged. I mean, the Vietnamese really spread the drugs. My question is, cannabis oil, which is derived from the marijuana plant, cannabis oil has been proven to be medicinal. And it has been proven to be medicinal. And I'm wondering, would it really be that wise to, well, stop cannabis oil? You see, it's I know it's very effective. I know, and I think you understand why. And that's really my question. My second question is, am I not allowed to smoke in my own house? I've just been sent a message that I should not smoke on right now. I mean, I'm in my house. I can smoke. If you don't want to smoke, it's all right. But I'm not sending second-hand smoke to you people. Why should I stop smoking? But if that is what you want, then I will leave. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Johnny.
Yes.
Okay, sige. At ano natin si Itos kung ano yung kanyang reaction sa sinabi mo.
Yes, you are first on your smoking. You can smoke wherever you want. If you want to smoke in the privacy of your own home, then that's up to you, sir. That's your choice, and as a free citizen. Now, whether we agree or not, that is your choice in your own house. The problem is when they start imposing it on the rest of society as a law. It's like saying. It's like dealing with the vaccine. They will force society to agree and take it. Now, you have to have as an informed choice, you make your own choices, but it cannot be imposed on the population, right? Now, regarding the cannabis oil, I've heard it and I've heard comments on it also. It may have some benefits, right? It may have some benefits. It may have some. There are some people that use it, but it's not proven to be universal either. Okay. Now there are chemicals there in the cannabis oil that can be derived from other things also. So all I'm saying is, as an informed decision. For example, when you allow in the cannabis oil as a form of, you make a leap from the cannabis oil to marijuana, and they will say, marijuana will solve all because you're getting cannabis oil. That's a different thing altogether, because there are other side effects to the marijuana that we don't want in society. Yun lang ang reaction there. But yes, I agree that there is cannabis oil. And yes, also, you can smoke your cigarettes anytime you want and anywhere you want. There's no one has to stop you there, sir. That's okay. No worries.
Thank you. It's the second time I've been stopped.
Yeah. No,
I just wanted to make it clear.
Yeah, that's okay. You're in your own house. No problem. Kat?
Okay, thank you, Itos, and thank you, Johnny Ventosa. Of course, nandyan din si Carlo Iway. Carlo, may katanungan ka? Kanina ay nag-raise ka ng hand. Okay? Magandang gabi sa'yo, Carlo.
Ay, hello po. Tanong ko lang kanina, sana para mabigay kay Governor Mamba. So, ibig sabihin naman nito is hindi lang pala ang amin ang may EDCA, kundi dapat talaga mabantayan din ang Cagayan na yan, ang lugar niyan. Kasi, nandiyan malapit din yan sa Taiwan At ang isang nakakalungkot yan is, ang nito is yung mga CIA daw, mga globalist. Yung CIA talaga mismo ang kalaban natin dito. Kaya na-observe ko yan. Yan po muna.
Okay, thank you, Carlo. Itos?
Yeah, thank you. Tama ka, Carlo, of course. And, it's a fight. It's a fight of the globalists versus the patriots that we have here. So, parating yun. Kaya nga we celebrate leaders like Governor Mamba. Whatever his history, whatever political affiliation he is, it's obvious that he's fighting for a bigger cause than himself. Then a short-term solution na I'm sure in-offer siya to say yes to EDCA. I'm sure in-offer siya with something that will be beneficial to him. Diba? And the fact that he's standing up, alam niya yung pressure from the national government, maybe, and still, sabi nga niya, and yes, he's right, that the president might be dealing with some things that we're not privy to. Hindi natin alam. So his actions nga lang, sabi niya lang, we have to manage it and be more understanding na there might be some things that are going on behind the scenes na hindi natin alam. Because I just saw also a clip of President Bongbong Marcos in a Filipino-Chinese friendship society.
Yeah.
And he was encouraging that cooperation and with the two nations continue in his speech. So it's not as if gusto niyang kalabanan, but it's becoming clear that the pressures exerted on him are monumental. Now, hindi ko pa rin sinasabi na we should excuse him for those decisions. I am just saying which Governor Mamba, sinabi nga ni Governor Mamba kanina, kung siya nga, ganyan siya, he took a stand against EDSA and he was saying it shouldn't be here and we should do this instead. Sinasabi niya, naintindihan niya daw yung presidente. Kasi I'm sure sa private talks nila, nag-uusap naman sila. And I'm sure those things are more on the line of we have to manage this together. More like that. Still though, we should take a strong stance against this and maybe help back the president in making the correct decisions for Filipinos. Pero it is a fight of globalists versus patriots, not nationalists. Patriots, those who love our country, and those who love all countries should have sovereign policies. They should decide themselves what they want to do. And you cannot dictate on them what they should do and what they shouldn't do. Diba? So, we should always be on the side of the sovereign nation state. The republics who represent their peoples, who have their own desires and aspirations, and that should be supported. Gaya kasi sinabi ko last week, I'm pro-China, yes. I'm pro-US also. I'm pro-England. I'm pro-Thailand. I'm pro-Philippines. Because all of those nations have peoples that are the same as us, aspirations. Ayaw nila ng gera, gusto nila yung development. Yun. So that's the whole outlook that we should push. Kaya nga happy ako kausap si Governor Mamba kanina kasi wala siyang pinapakitang pagpapanig sa anong side. Ang gusto lang niya tinutulungan tayo. Maganda yung tulong na hinihingi ko. Maganda yung tulong na gusto lang ibigay. Yun na lang gawin natin. Ba't pa tayo pupunta sa gera? Why will we decide on the war when we can decide, we can choose the path of peace and development for the whole nation? Hindi lang niya masabi because he's a governor. Maintindihan niya. But I tried to get him to say, ano ba yung talagang national policy dapat? Because he has to, he's an elected official, a local government official. Now he has to play those kinds of politics. But the fact that he took a stand and makita natin yung kanyang mindset, his intention for his people seems sincere. And his mindset about how to regard his openness in looking to China and saying, bahala sila, we don't have to adopt communism, but look at what they did to their country. Dapat gawin natin dito. Kaya naman natin gawin yan. makikita mo yung love for country ni Governor Mamba.
Mamba, yes.
And it's encouraging for me to hear also that there are many who support him but just cannot come out and say it. Which is nice to hear. That means marami pa ring common sense dyan sa Congress or Senate, I'm assuming. Diba? Pero marami rin loko-loko. Okay. So, yun ang labas yan. Kat?
Thank you, Itos. Naalala ko lang, alam mo, Itos, nung nagpunta ako dyan sa Cagayan, natutuwa ako sa matinding suporta talaga ng governor, no? Dahil alam mo ba na nagpapatayo talaga sila at sinusuportahan nila yung paglalagay talaga ng mga libraries sa mga munisipyo at even sa mga barangay. Naalala ko nung nag-donate kami dito sa Cagayan mismo, sa Tuguegarao, Cagayan, nung na-interview ko mismo yung librarian, yung pinaka-namumuno doon. In fact, siya yung dating Philippine librarian, parang Association of Librarians. Sinabi niya na talagang very supportive sa kanila dahil nakikita raw ng governor at nakikita nga ng nila silang mga librarian na malaking bagay na yung visibility pati ng mga libraries. Kasi lalo na raw dun sa mga elementary, high school, yung sa mga bata, lalo na dun sa mga mahihirap na lugar. Ito kasi madalas yung kulang. At natutuwa ako dahil hindi lang talagang mula sa edukasyon hanggang sa pagpapaunlad ng buhay dun sa Cagayan, talagang yun ang pinipilit na ma-achieve talaga ni Governor Mamba, Itos. At anyway, it's already 8:32 na po ng gabi, Philippine Standard Time, at kayo po ay nanonood pa rin dito sa himpilan po ng Arman DZXL 558 kHz AM band. Yan po, at dito sa Katipunan Channel, sa aming mga social media accounts, FB page at YouTube account. At again, it's time to read the text messages sent by our listeners. Their opinion does not necessarily reflect our own, but we reserve the right to read them to the public in the interest of freedom of speech. So we have first texter or comment. Sabi ni Cesar Soberano, mabuhay ka Governor Mamba, at sa lahat ng patriotikong Pilipino lumalaban sa EDCA bases. Sabi naman ni Luis Gerald, magandang gabi po sa inyong dalawa. Happy Araw ng Kalayaan sa ating bukas. Oo nga, tama. Thank you, Luis, sa pagpapaalala. Naalala ko nga pala, no? Yung ating, dahil tomorrow is Araw ng Kalayaan, yung ating mga kasama, mga kaibigan natin dyan na nagbe-vigil dyan sa Senado, actually ay magkakaroon sila ng rally. Parang sila, magmamarcha sila mula sa Senado hanggang dito sa Supreme Court. Magdadasal daw sila doon, may konting prayer. Then afterwards, sa Supreme Court, diretso raw sila dito sa Liwasan Bonifacio para ipagdiwang itong Araw ng Kalayaan. At tandaan natin, itong mga nandun sa Senado na nagbibigil, sila po yung mga against sa pagpapasa po ng HB 1869 ba yun? Basta yun po yung ating kaya po natutuwa po ako lalo na kay Nanay Gemma, kung natatandaan niyo po, minsan na pong nakapanayam ni Professor Butch Valdes si Nanay Gemma, no? Na ito yung nag-viral tungkol dito sa nakaraang pandemic natin, at talagang sinasaluduhan natin ang mga kasama natin dyan. Anyway, sunod na texter po natin si Edgardo Tadeo Senior. Monitor po ako DZXL RMN. Thank you po, Mang Edgar. At sabi ni Robert Cruz, akala ko si Jason sa sino yan? Si Johnny Ventosa ba yan? At sabi ni Belinda Karina Buco, hello po. Nako, nag-clap-clap siya. At sabi ni Justin R. Enriquez, we support your integrity and love to the country, Governor Mamba, Dr. Mamba. PBBM, plain and simple, complicit. Sabi ni mga Goy Bislig, 600 million? Di ko maintindihan. mas maganda i-elaborate mo. At sabi ni Apache TV, abiyaga po Gobernador Mamba. At sabi ni Algo, ask ko lang yung Tibet na hindi na-invade ng China. Do you want to comment, Itas? Sabi ni Algo?
Hindi na-invade ng China. That's my only comment.
Okay. Sabi ni Fernando Jose, go, 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 Governor Mamba, mabuhay ka. Sabi naman ni Boyet Periabras, ito lang ang alam kong politiko na pwede mong ituring na bayani, si Mamba. You're right. At sabi ni Nonoy, be safe.
I want to add also.
Okay.
Tignan natin yung Tibet before China electrified it. What was Tibet? What were the monks smoking? Yung mga Dalai Lama na yan, fake yan. Did you see yung Dalai Lama na lumabas? Na he was trying to telling a child to kiss his tongue in public? Yung Dalai Lama is a CIA creation. Kung hindi nyo pa nakikita yan ngayon, you do more research. Tibet was going to be used as a staging point to undermine China. But China took it in, put in infrastructure, put in electricity. They were living in the 12th century. And China developed it. Pero ginagawa nila, just like how they did Hong Kong, Shanghai, yung mga ports, doon nakakapasok yung mga globalists. Small territories that doon sinisira yung bansa. Kaya nga nag-iisip rin ako dito sa mga free port na to dito sa bansa. Export processing zones daw. But you let them in. You give them parts of your nation. You give them parts of your sovereignty which you don't really have control. Plus, ikaw pa nagfa-fund.
Correct. Zero
Diba?
tax yun.
So please, before we talk about Tibet and others, research muna and do real research, hindi yung propaganda research po. Ha? Yun lang po.
Thank you, Itos. At sabi ni Wilfredo Gallinero, paano yung mga pera ng millions na kinurakot nila? Sabi naman ni Amparo Consuelo, agpaiso dagiti imbalikas mo apo sapay kuma taawan tigubat. Ano kaya ibig sabihin nito? Ikaw talaga, Amparo Consuelo, Tagalogin mo kaya yan? At sabi ni Kiara Dizon, God bless you, Governor Mamba. We are praying for you. Salute to you, Philippines. We are for peace. No to EDCA US military bases. No to AgFan refugees too. Sabi ni Lawrence Robert Tampus Halpin, HK Hong Kong to, Hong Kong China Shanghai ban, yan, HSBC. Yan yung sinasabi kanina ni Itos. At sabi ni Jose Aquino, nabanggit po sa Noli Me Tangere sa nobela ni Rizal na may inchik na gumagamit ng apyan, opium siguro to. Ano po ba yung apyan na banggit ni Rizal? Di ko maintindihan. Do you want to comment, Itos?
Hindi ko maalala pero I remember somebody saying that nga na Rizal commented nga na may yung sa Noli Me Tangere na gumagamit na nga. Hindi ko alam kung that's what it meant, opium. Because but given in the context of that when that was written, Noli Me Tangere, it was known that the opium trade was flourishing and that the British royal family and the British East India Company were behind the drug trade, the biggest drug trade at that time.
Thank you, Itos. At sabi ni Jose Aquino, Woodstock Concert. Yan yung binabanggit kanina ni Itos. At mula kay Algo, masama talaga modernism o liberal-minded of whatever nation. You want to comment on that, Itos? Masama raw ang modernism or liberal mind
I don't know what he means by that, but masama yung free trade. Masama yung liberal capitalism na walang protection, walang regulation, walang tariffs. You need directed credit and then you need protectionism. Those first world nations, US was built on protectionism. Must research, i-research nyo po, ang US, hindi sila lumaki dahil sa free trade. In fact, kinalaban nila yung free trade. Pag binasa nyo po si Alexander Hamilton, yung unang Treasury Secretary ng US, at binasa nyo 100 years later, si Henry Carey and Matthew Carey, anti-free trade yan. They were criticizing Adam Smith. Yung Adam Smith, ahente ng British royal family. And he wrote about free trade. Darwin was also used by the British royal family to promote that we came from animals.
Yes.
We evolved from apes. And Darwin did not specifically say that we evolved from apes. Darwin just said that we are under the family of this. Pero wala pa rin mahanap na missing link, wala pa rin mahanap na pruweba na merong half man, half chongo sa buong kasaysayan ng science. So when you say liberal and modernism, I don't know what you mean by that. Pero development, innovation, technology, that's all good. That's all good, but it's not divorced. Hindi siya nag-i-exist. Development does not exist independently from principle and responsibility. Real development is the development of people's aspirations and creating the environment that enhances the general welfare. Yun po ang totoong development. Hindi dahil magiging AI tayo and whatever. Hindi po development yan. Yun po.
Itos gusto ko lang din kasi nabanggit yan, ilang beses na nabanggit itong free trade. Yung isang texter lang natin, sabi niya, yun daw bang free trade at globalization? Ano raw pagkakaiba nun? Iisa lang din ba yun? Is it masama? Ano raw ang epekto nito? Can you explain?
Yeah, globalization is just another term na wala ng borders ang isang bansa. So, wag na tayong mag-nation state. Yung nagtutulak ng globalization ay yung mga bankero at yung mga free traders. Why? They want one world government. Wag na tayo mag-peso, dollar. Isang currency na lang tayo lahat. Yan ang globalization. Ang globalization rin is, sasabihin lang sa Pilipinas, mas mura mag-produce ng kanin o ng bigas ang Vietnam. Bili ka na lang ng bigas sa Vietnam, wag na kayong mag-produce ng bigas ng sarili. Pero ang Vietnam bibili ng tuyo sa atin. Yan ang globalization. Yan ang tinutulak nila. Sinasabi nila, competitive advantage. Ito yung mga salitang konseptong nilalabas ng mga ekonomistang matatalino daw eh. Competitive advantage. Ang Pilipinas, ang competitive advantage, sinasabi nila, yung mga tao nila. So yung tao nila, ibenta mo. Pero yung bigas, bili mo na sa Vietnam. Mas mura eh. Imported, mas mura. Mas mahal mag-produce dito. Yan ang kasinungalingan na binigay sa atin after Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos Sr. was ousted. Yan ang binigay sa atin. Free trade, globalization, privatization. Privatization na napokor para maganda yung budget ng gobyerno. I-privatize yun na yung Petron para magmumura yung gasolina. I-privatize yun na yung napokor para mura yung kuryente. Lahat yan ay nangyari. Privatize yung MWSS, gawin na ng Maynila at Manila Water para mura yung tubig. Nangyari ba?
Hindi.
So lahat ng free trade, globalization is just another word for free trade. Free trade is usually just between two nations, but globalization is world free trade. And masama po yun. In fact, each nation should protect their own industries.
Okay.
So that their people will have jobs, will have security,
Yes.
and will thrive as their nation. And each nation should be strong. That's why we should be pro all nations of the world. Because their peoples also have a right, just like we have a right sa Pilipinas, to aspire to chart our own path, our own economic path, to have a better life for us and our grandchildren. Yan po ang anti-free trade, anti-globalization. At tayo dito sa KDP has always been anti-free trade, anti-globalization. Ang globalization and free trade, yan yung mga salita na gustong sumakop sa inyo. Yan ang mga salitang magandang pakinggan. Sasabihin nila, edukado ka pag ginagamit mo yan. Pero yan ang nila, panakop nila sa mga bansa ngayon.
Yan ang papatay
Nobody benefited from that. Only the bankers. Only the money lenders benefited from that. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Itos. At I'm sure lahat ng mga kababayan na nanonood na sa atin o nakikinig sa pamamagitan ng radyo ay naintindihan nila itong kaibahan o pagkakapareho nitong free trade at globalization. Talagang parehas na masama at papatayin talaga ang ating bayan, tayo mismo mga tao. Anyway, ang kasunod na texter natin o nag-comment ay si Gilbert Negrido. Magandang gabi sa'yo, Gilbert. Sabi niya, right with exclamation point. At sabi ni Brixton Bebot Francisco Morata, good evening po. Sabi naman ni Marie Wally, mas marunong pa kayo, bakit di nyo harapin ang pinakamalaking problema ni Duterte nyo? Kayo ang nagtatanggol kay Duterte serial killer, tama na los. galit na si Mariwali. Do you want to comment on this? Mas marunong pa kayo, bakit di nyo harapin ang pinakamalaking problema ni Duterte nyo? Kayo ang nagtatanggol kay Duterte serial killer. TM Manalos-los. Yan. Hitos.
Bakit? Kailangan ba mag-comment?
Kung gusto mo lang naman.
Hindi, no.
Sige, okay.
Yung history natin kasi, we supported Duterte when he has good policies and we criticize him when he doesn't. Just like any other president.
Yes.
So, we very critical kami. He did not go after the oligarchs. Very critical tayo when he was pushing a population control. We were very critical but on the other side, when he opened it up, our relationship with China and opened up new doors, of course, we support him. He was the best president in a long time. Because he took control and he did not allow the globalists to just run all over the Philippines. At the very least, that's what he did. Diba? So kulang na kulang, yes. On our standards, kulang na kulang pa ang nagawa niya. He could have done more kasi suportado siya ng tao. Yung vast majority po ng tao, suportado si President Duterte. Hindi naman perfecto, tama. Diba? But just like sometimes yung mga Pilipinos minsan mahilig sa pro-Marcos, anti-Marcos, pro-Cory, anti-Cory. Kailangan mamili ka. At pag namili ka, hindi mo pwedeng i-criticize. We are pro-Filipino. We are pro-Philippines. This is our presidential system, na-elect siya. We support him when it's needed and we criticize him when it's also needed. Ganun lang po.
Correct. Thank you, Itos. At sabi ni Del Xiao, negosyo ni Satanas yan. Yan, yung tungkol sa illegal drugs. At sabi ni Richie Sento Marcelo, suportahan ang programa bukas sa Luneta, liwasang binhi ng kalayaan. Ganap na alas 4. Ano to? Alas 4 ng hapon ba to? Ang programa ay pangunahan ng Lunas Pilipinas ni Attorney Tanya Lat et al. Richie Sento, sabi pa rin uli ni Richie Sento Marcelo, vigil para sa araw ng kalayaan. At sabi ni, naka-check-in si Freddy Oridina sa atin. At may binabanggit siya, ito, LaRouche pub.com/2001. Yeah, maganda bisitahin nyo to kasi marami po kayong malalaman sa mga nangyayari po sa buong mundo. At sabi nga ni Freddy Oridina, if the cannabis will processed by Big Pharma, it will be a disaster. Depends on the intention, good or bad. Tools for production can be used as weapon for killing. See opioids, fentanyl, at fentanyl cooperation between government and Filipino-Chinese, not China as a country. At sabi ni Algo, capricious and abusive will illegalize ang marijuana next to becoming another Mexico. Sabi naman ni Osman Mohamed Zin, but his speech sound funny. Ano? Sabi ni Carlo EY, SB 1869. Thank you, Carlo. Osman Mohamed Zin, I'm referring to BBM. Okay. At sabi ni Algo, Philippine PHPH, patriotism, we need to nationalize the toll, electricity, water, energy as privatization benefits a few family of abusive oligarchs here and abroad influences. Nako, talagang siya'y nagagalit. At sabi ni Katipon PJ, meron din po Katipon Cathy na Freedom Convoy against SB 1869. Ang Lunas Pilipinas, mga patriots from Bataan, Zambales, Bulacan, Baraswain Church, mga taga QC at mag-converge sa Rizal Park by the afternoon to have a program. Oh, thank you PJ. Okay. At sabi ni Freddy Oridina, Steel Color Revolution in Tibet. Two opium wars occurred and suffered by China. Darwin the Bank by Phil Downman. Sabi ni Miss Anchopo, and unfortunately, Bonget is pro-globalist. The fact that he attended the WEF says a lot about him. Yan. Yan po ang ilan sa ating mga texters. Nag-comment po. Meron siyang sinasabi. Here is the mula dito sa isang text, sabi ni Amparo Consuelo, here is the translation. Totoo pong lahat ng sinabi niyo, Governor. Sana ay walang digmaan. So ipagdasal po natin yan na na hindi po mangyari at magkaroon ng liwanag ang kaisipan ng ating mga namumuno sa ating bansa, lalo na sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Anyway, by the way, bago po tayo tuluyang gusto ko lang po batiin ang lahat ng nagdiriwang ng birthday ngayong buwan ng Hunyo. Yan. Ngayon ay June 11, birthday ng aming mahusay na technician na si Ver Archivido. Happy birthday sa'yo. Wala ba tugtog dyan? Anyway, may mga pahabol tayong text. Sabi ni Freddy Oredina, no additional EDCA base at minura ni Duterte si Obama. Correct. At sabi ni Armando de la Rosa, maganda topic niyo tungkol sa EDCA. Sana wag tayo magaya sa panahon ng Amerikano na gumawa sila ng project gaya ng kalsada at iba pa. Ayun pala, ginamit din nila nung World War II para sa kanilang armament. Nako. Yan. Salamat sa iyo, Armando de la Rosa. At syempre, sa lahat po ng nakatunghay ngayon sa pamagitan po ng radyo, Armendez XL, subaybayan niyo po kami tuwing araw po ng linggo, alas 7 hanggang alas 9 po ng gabi. Parting message na lang para sa ating kay Itos, mula kay Itos Valdes. Itos?
Yun lang po. I just wanted to greet everybody. Happy Independence Day. bukas, June 12. Sana po, sana yung wish ko lang po dito sa Independence that the youth and our citizens get more involved in our country's affairs. Kasi ang bansa po, ang Republika ng Pilipinas, a republic is only as good as its citizens. At pag yung mga citizens po ay hindi na wala nang ganang sumama sa political process or building of a nation, doon na yung umpisa ng pagbagsak. Pwede naman lumaban, may mga oligarchy, may mga policies, health, economics. Pero kung ang citizenry ay aktibo, matalino at sumasama sa proseso, makakaya po natin. Ang ayaw po natin is hindi na significant yung June 12 Independence Day natin. Kasi marami pong namatay they gave their blood, their sweat and their tears and their sacred honor so that maitayo ang Republika ng Pilipinas. Sana po ang wish ko yung mga kabataan at the future citizens will value this nation as we do. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Itos. At alam mo, talagang importante, sabi nga ni Jose Rizal, ang kabataan natin ang pag-asa ng bayan. Kaya kinakailangan ang ating mga kabataan, alagaan po natin sila at turuan sila ng pagmamahal sa ating bansa. Responsibilidad po nating mga magulang yan. No, responsibilidad po nating mga nakakatanda yan dahil pagka ganyan po ang nangyari ay tuluyang mawawasak ang ating bansa. So, sa ngalan po ng ating mga katipon dito sa ating Katipunan at sa magagaling na staff ng DZXL Radyo Mo Nationwide, kami po ay pansamantalang nagpapaalam at nagpapasalamat na sinamahan ninyo kami ngayon ang Hora de Peligro ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo. Dito pa rin sa ating Katipunan hanggang sa linggo pong muli, mga katipon, alas 7 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Inyong napakinggan si Itos Valdes kasama si Cathy Cruz at iba pang katipon na nakilahok sa talakayan.
Ating Katipunan.
Samahang muli si Itos Valdes sa susunod na linggo alas 7 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi sa himpilan ng RMN DZXL 558 kHz AM band at social media accounts ng Partido KDP.
Ating Katipunan.